Want to know how to teach your deaf dog literally any hand signal? In this video, I'm going to show you how. Hey, I'm Natalie from Canine Concepts, the home of game-based training for deaf dogs. Links to all the resources I talk about are in the description below. And make sure you stick around to the end because I'm going to teach you how to get your deaf dog to stay without ever signing stay. Now, believe it or not, teaching your deaf dog sign language is a really simple process. Truly, most dogs learn hand signals faster even if they can hear. And what's more, you don't actually need to learn sign language yourself. You can if you like, but it's not essential. You can just make it up. But look, if you ever get stuck for ideas about different signs you could use with your deaf dog, just check out the link in the description below. I've got a free interactive PDF listing 8 core signs I use all the time with deaf dogs. To teach our deaf dog a new sign, all we need to do is pair the hand signal with the behavior. So what does this look like in real life? Well, when your deaf dog is just about to do the behavior you want, simply do the hand signal at the same time or just before the behavior. Then, the moment your deaf dog does the behavior, mark that event with your marker, then deliver their reward. Let me go through all that again. Step 1, do your hand signal at the same time or just before the dog does the behavior. Step 2, give your marker signal. Step 3, reward your dog. Now, if you haven't taught your deaf dog a marker signal just yet, just follow the link in the description below. I'll take you through the whole training process step by step. Remember, your marker is not the same as praise. It's a separate thing, so make sure you check out the video. Okay, so in order to pair the hand signal with the behavior, we first need to get our deaf dog to do the behavior. We need to get the behavior first. And there's 3 main methods we can use to get the behavior. The first method is luring. Luring is essentially using food to position your dog's nose and then prompt them to move into a particular position. One thing that is really important with luring is to fade out the food lure ASAP. You don't want your dog to only do what you ask if you've got a cookie on their nose. So to fade the lure, we're going to pretend we're holding a treat and do the exact same hand movement that we did before. We call this an air cookie because we're not actually holding a cookie, it's just air. Shh. The moment your dog goes into position, give them their marker, then reach and feed them a treat. You'll probably need to switch between actually holding the treat and pretending to hold a treat. That's totally normal. Don't stress, just work to build that trust. Your dog needs to trust that they will still get paid even though your hands are empty. When your dog is doing the behavior beautifully and reliably with just the air cookie, we're going to gradually start changing the shape of our hand so that it's flat. Just like before, you'll probably need to flick back and forth a bit. A little bit flatter, then a little bit more air cookie-like, then a bit flatter. Again, this process is completely normal. It takes time for your deaf dog to realize that, hey, the shape of the hand changed a bit, but if I do the same behavior, then I still get rewarded. And if you ever get completely stuck and your dog's just not following the empty hand, then just start again with a food lure. It doesn't matter. It's dog training. It's not the end of the world. Soon enough, your dog will be performing the behavior reliably with just the flat hand signal. Ta-da! The second way we can get the behavior is with capturing. This is when our dogs naturally offer a behavior, we mark and reward that behavior, and then we just wait and see if they offer it again. When they're offering the behavior reliably, then we just pair our hand signal with the behavior, just like we did before. Capturing is how I taught Havoc to bark and be quiet on cue. Just before he was going to bark, I gave him the cue. Then I marked and rewarded that behavior. Then, as he stopped barking, I gave him the quiet cue. After a few reps, I could start to do the hand signals first and just wait for the barking to start and stop. Now, even if he didn't do the behavior immediately, because I'd just been rewarding him every time he barked and then stopped barking, I knew that he'd offer the correct behavior soon enough and I could just wait him out. If you're struggling with your deaf dog barking, you need this. Capturing is also a great way to teach things like recall. As your dog is just about to start running at full speed towards you, give them their recall cue. Then mark and give a huge reward when they come into you. If your deaf dog loves tug-of-war, this is the perfect time to do it. The final way I like to get the behavior first is with shaping. Shaping is where we reward little pieces of the behavior we want. Basically, if we think of a behavior like going to their bed, that behavior is actually made up of lots of tiny little behaviors like looking at the bed, walking towards the bed, putting one paw on the bed, then two, then three paws, etc. So in shaping games, we can reward each of those tiny little steps. Because the dog does so many repetitions in shaping, it produces really strong, reliable behaviors, usually much stronger than if luring is used. But luring is usually heaps easier, especially if you're a beginner. What I'm saying is to use whatever works best for you and your dog. Experiment, play around, have fun, learn and grow together. If you're finding this video useful, consider giving it a thumbs up, it really helps. Now, if you're anything like me, you're probably using a lot of pointing to communicate with your deaf dog. But what if you want to use an actual sign rather than just pointing to random objects and hoping that your deaf dog understands you? What if I want to use the Auslan sign for place to tell my dog to go to his bed, not just point? Again, super easy. Just remember the mantra, new cue, old cue. Do your new hand signal first, then do the one your dog already knows. Over time, your dog will realize that they don't need to wait for the second hand signal, so they'll start doing the behavior the moment you give the new cue. When you think your dog is getting it, try doing just the new cue. If they don't do the behavior, don't panic. Just follow up with the old cue and practice a bit more. Some dogs take a really long time to learn this, but they do get it eventually. Remember that thing I said right at the beginning of the video?
Because I'm going to teach you how to get your deaf dog to stay without ever signing stay.
I never have and never will teach a separate cue for stay. And there are so many reasons why we don't ever want to teach a separate cue. First, if stay means hold position until I tell you to do something else, then what does sit mean? Plonk your butt on the ground for as long as you feel like, but if you feel like getting up and going off and doing something else, then that's cool, dude. Using a separate cue for stay changes the meaning of all our other cues. And far too often, stay is done in an intimidating manner. Stay, stay, stay. The dog is not holding position because they want to do the behavior. They're holding position because suddenly they're humans being weird and they don't want to risk moving. This is all completely unnecessary. We just teach our dogs that the cue always means do this behavior until I tell you to do something else. So when we cue sit, the stay happens automatically by default every single time without you needing to do anything. Even better, by not using a stay cue, all of my reward value gets pumped into my sit cue. The brain doesn't need to split that reward value between the two different cues. This is why using a separate cue for stay can actually make both behaviors weaker, because each cue is only getting part of the value of that reward that you just gave your dog. So how do we get dogs to stay by default? The secret is by teaching a release cue. A release cue means get out of position and come and play with me. The cue itself can be anything. Free, break, play. Chaos's release cue is fishing. When your dog understands this concept, you'll see that the release cue is magic. It's one of the reasons my dogs will stay on their bed even while other dogs are working. It's why our downstays and our agility start lines are so solid, even though they've never been taught stay. Download your free interactive list of deaf dog signs linked in the description below. Want to know how to teach that magical release cue? Hit subscribe because it's coming really soon.